Right guys, a wee bit later than usual, but just my Friday video. And this video is going to be quite short and quite a sweet sort of wee point. And it's simply just that being a man is okay. Like, there's nothing wrong with being a man. And that might sound like a weird message, but I think over the last sort of few years and stuff, especially with sort of extreme feminist views and such things, it's kind of gotten into a lot of people's minds, especially young men's, that sort of typical being a man sort of things has been seen in a negative way. Just sort of things like not, I'll use a small example here where it's the classic thing of the girlfriend wants the boyfriend to be with her all the time, spend time and stuff, and I know not all women think about this, but like a lot of times, oh no, don't go, I want you to stay, that sort of something. And it's almost portrayed as a bad thing if the man still wants to go out and do what he needs to do and go and achieve his goals and such. And I know it's not every woman that thinks like this, but I think a lot of men in their minds have got the idea where they need to do everything they possibly can to please the woman on all of her needs, and it's just not feasible for a lot of men. I know myself, it's hard to find any sort of happiness and fulfillment without working towards something, and that's like a sort of integral part of the masculine energy that I spoke about in a video a few weeks ago. I'll ping it up. I won't ping it, actually, well, yeah, I'll ping it up here. I'll upload this on a Saturday rather than on a Friday. But I think just small things like that, if you kind of look in the world where small things like sort of taking the lead or being in a dominant position, like, or when your boss is like a man or whatnot, and like you tell someone what to do or something, it's almost perceived as a bad thing. But I think a lot of people don't realise that if there weren't like proper men out there like this, then the world wouldn't actually function. Everyone would just be doing things to make everyone feel good, and everyone would be happy all the time, but no one would really be happy, because you can't please everyone's needs. And I think it's coming a lot of like a young men being raised in a more sort of feminine environments, where in school it's all about sort of making everyone feel included, everyone feel nice, which, don't get me wrong, there is an argument for that, and we need to have an element of that in the way that we interact with people. But the whole idea of sometimes you just need to say something because things aren't getting done, and you'll see a lot in like sporting environments where male teams especially, where there's this sort of thing, right, that was shit, you need to get this done. But like if you take that into like a work environment where there's a lot of women or a lot of like sort of feminine men, and it'd be like, oh, I can't believe he's making me do this, I can't believe this is happening. Things don't always get done in the most like hairy-fairy kind of way. Not everything's pretty in life, and a lot of times when men act this way it's deemed negative, and I believe that is a sort of misconception, and certainly something that's held me back personally in going for things and really try to, you know, carve my way through the world as a man. I'm going to make a few videos on different topics about masculinity and being a man, because it's something that I've thought about a lot recently. And it's always weird because whenever Hamza or First Man or whatnot starts speaking about certain topics, I kind of resonates with me a lot in that sort of stage that I am in my life, where I'm going to make another video about how sort of with a lot of self-improvement habits I've kind of stuck to them religiously for periods of time, and it's almost, if I didn't do that then I wouldn't actually be in the place I am today. But I don't do everything so religiously and so regimented every time. But that's sort of off topic for this video. The main point of this video is you don't have to feel bad for having manly urges, for wanting to do things that like conquer things or whatnot, and sort of get shit done and strive for things relentlessly. There's no sort of, you shouldn't feel bad for that. It's a lot of times when you do like locked in and strive for things that other people, yeah, they want, but they're not really willing to work for, then you're going to get a lot of people that disagree with how you do things and disagree with the way that you're moving forward. And I've experienced this in sort of small doses, as I said in my last video. I've not actually achieved much in the last year in terms of like concrete achievements, but I know my friend has went through a lot of this stuff recently, and you see how when you start getting shit done, putting things into place, you lose a lot of people that you might have considered friends in the past and would have happily spent time with, but now they almost don't want to associate with you because they see you as some dickhead who's just focused about the one thing. But in truth, it's probably the best thing for those people to not mix together, because it's different mindsets, and some people win, some people lose, and that's just the way the world works, from my experience so far, and from fucking loads of people that I've heard from. But that's capping off this video. If you want to be a man, be a fucking man and learn how to do it properly. It'll be the best thing you do in your whole life. See you in the next video.